BFF Podcast, your home for the best fantasy football podcast, period.
What? Did we just become best friends? Yup.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the BFFs Podcast. In this episode of the podcast, Eric and King discuss their personal wide receiver rankings. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at the BFFs Podcast, and make sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, the best fantasy football podcast.
Yeah.
And we're live.
All right. Scotch. I love scotch. Down into my belly it goes.
He is drinking scotch as we speak.
No, I'm just eating Gushers.
He's eating Gushers, sponsored by
Love me some Gushers.
Scotch Gushers.
Yeah. Ooh.
Now
What
for
would that
adults.
be? Oh my God.
Little Gushers filled with scotch.
Yes. Brilliant.
$1 million idea.
Oh my God.
No, that'd be like a tens of dollar idea.
No.
You'd
I
make
would
like
say millions.
$10.
I think you back it with like George Clooney, and he could make it. Fun.
Oh goodness, George, you crazy guy,
Yeah,
you.
The guy made a tequila and made sold it for billions of dollars.
I don't believe that's true.
Not millions, but not billions. But it's crazy. That actually did happen.
Well, yeah, his name is George. For goodness sake.
It's real life. We're gonna do some wide receivers for you today. How about that? Gonna do some wide receiver rankings.
I'm excited.
Wide receiver. I got some crazy stuff for wide receiver.
Can you hear the excitement
This is
in my
nuts.
voice? He's got nuts and Gushers, nut flavored Gushers.
Yeah, that's horrible. That has to be gone.
Oh goodness.
Nobody likes nuts, anyways, on inside Gushers. So, and what if you have an allergy? What happens if you have an allergy? You don't know that
What
it's inside
what
the
is
Gusher.
inside
You think
Gushers?
eat
You
the
think
Gusher,
you think you know what's
and
inside the
all
Gusher?
of a sudden, you're like, oh my God, I can't breathe because I have a nut allergy. I didn't know the nut was inside the Gusher.
You think you know what's
Because-
inside a
Scotch
Gusher?
is the way to go. Okay, we're changing
It's not scotch. I'll tell you that.
Scotch. Forget about it. All right, so
Wide receiver rankings.
Wide receivers.
We're gonna do
And
top 40.
Top 40. 5 at a time. A little tidbit.
5 at a
One
time.
One out of 5.
5 at a
or
time.
2
We'll
out
give
of
you a
5.
little piece of why we think that guy should be where he is. If he is way off of the consensus, we'll just give you why we think he should
Yeah.
be there.
Absolutely. Okay, you want to start? You want me to start? Doesn't matter.
It doesn't
you wanna
matter.
start?
I
What
think
do
you went
wanna do?
first
You
on
wanna
running
flip-
backs.
You want to flip a coin?
I'll go
No, I don't-
first. I'm going
yeah,
first.
yeah,
I'm already
okay,
going.
Fine. Just
I already
take it.
started. Oh,
Fine.
I'm done.
Okay,
I
I'll cheat a
finished.
Gusher
It's
while you're
done.
doing it.
I
Go ahead.
finished. Your
All right,
turn.
go ahead.
All right. All right. Wide receiver 1, Antonio Brown. Big shocker.
Wow. Oh my God! Hold on. No.
Everybody,
Yeah.
pause and hold on to your hats. All right. Number 2, Keenan Allen. That one is kind of a shocker. Wide receiver 3, Michael Thomas. Wide receiver 4, Odell Beckham. And wide receiver 5, Julio Jones.
No Hopkins in the top 5.
No Hopkins in the top
Wow.
5. Okay, so let's talk about Keenan Allen and why I like him so much. He is consensus ranked number 6. I have him as number 2. Allen finished the final 7 games of the season with 798 yards and 5 touchdowns. His big finish came as the team started to move away from Antonio Gates. Gates is now gone, and so is Henry. He is the one of the only guys, I will edit that out. He is one of the only guys whose team didn't add someone that could cause regression for his numbers last year. So if he plays all 16 games, which is a big concern for him, but if he does play all 16 games, which he did last year, he will be top 3 wide receiver, no doubt in my mind.
So I have him a
That's
little.
a strong ranking, boys.
I have him a little bit lower. Well, it's not that far fetched because I think ESPN had him at 5. What's your consensus?
6.
So it's not like it's a huge.
Yeah, it's not huge,
not
but I mean,
huge,
putting
but it's
someone
definitely
who's
big.
consensus
Top-
number
yeah,
6
top-
to a number
top
2.
I mean that could be big. Here's my worry on Keenan Allen, and I'll talk about it because he's a little lower in my list. The reason being is because I'm worried about his touchdown total. So 2 years ago, 4 touchdowns. The year before that, 0 because he got injured after the first halftime. So and then last year,
I
even though he
had
a
him
huge
that
year,
season, by the way.
So I know.
Just letting you guys know.
Yeah, that's what happens. I'm telling you, his first, maybe even second round pick will go out
And
with an
that's
injury.
and I still
You can
win,
book
so it's
it.
okay.
You can book it.
So listen to me.
So, and then last year, even though he had a great season, 102 catches, 1,393 yards, but only 6 touchdowns.
Yeah, and 5 of them came in the final 7 games when they started to move away from Antonio Gates. Antonio Gates is now gone, and so is Henry. What are they going to do? Throw to Mike Williams? Going to get 25 touchdowns? They throw the ball all the time.
I know they throw the ball all the times. I'm telling you.
I'm telling you right now, 5 touchdowns in 7 games. Everything's the same.
So you're saying, so what's your prediction? Over 10 touchdowns?
Oh, I would put him at 10.
10. Okay, that's a good number. I mean, I think 10 is a
1,300
1,300
yards, close to 100 catches.
Okay.
10 touchdowns. Oh, my goodness, Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen. So,
I will buy your jersey if you are wide receiver 2 this year. I'll buy a signed Keenan Allen jersey.
I might have one too. No, I don't have him. All right, so I cannot give you Keenan Allen. But yeah. So my 5, Brown, shocker number 1.
Shocker.
Julio 2.
That is kind of big.
I love Julio and I love
Julio.
So Julio, his touchdown total last year was
Wait, who are the rest of your teams? Rest of your players.
I'm sorry. Hopkins is 3, Odell is 4, and my oh my god moment is T.Y. Hilton is number 5.
I don't hate it.
T.Y. Hilton, ESPN ranked 12th. What do you have consensus for him?
Consensus 10.
10. So I have him at 5. I think if Luck is healthy, again, it's a big.
He is.
Luck is healthy.
Trust me, guys, he is.
He will be an absolute monster. So last year, T.Y. Hilton with nobody as his quarterback.
Brissett, he has a name.
Nobody as his quarterback. Almost 1,000 yards, 966 yards. A year before that, 1,400 yards, almost 100 receptions.
Yeah, he had like 93 catches.
Yeah, so it was insane. So if Luck is healthy the whole season, I see him as being a top 5 wide receiver.
No doubt.
We'll kind of wait on that, and that's my top 5. Again, Julio.
Yeah.
Also,
go back to Julio.
Love Julio. So so I think Matt Ryan had a bad year last year, and I think both of these guys will go back to the way it used to be, where Matt Ryan won MVP. So stats on Julio Jones. Okay, again,
you think Matt Ryan's going to go back to his 2016 season?
I think he's going to go back to a good season. So so Julio Jones as in 2015, which I think that's kind of where he's leaning towards more than 2016. 2016, he still had a good year, 83 catches, 1,400 yards. Listen to 2015. I forgot about this season. This season is incredible. I don't even know how he didn't win MVP himself in 2015. 136 catches and 1,871 yards. Is that even real life?
I think you're fabricating stats.
No, that I am looking straight at statistics.
You're looking at the nationally ranked statistic book.
I will. You know what? That's something that I got to check. But this had 136 catches for 1,871 yards. Is that realistic?
I don't believe that's real.
My. Well, I have to check this out. This is
you look that up.
False information.
I'll talk about Julio.
False information. So
he is due for some positive touchdown regression this year. That is without a doubt. He should be much more less. He should be much less.
Realistic?
Yeah, I mean, you just gave me some just insane stats that he has 500 catches for 10,000 yards and 500 touchdowns this season. He should be much less boom or bust and should be able to produce his wide receiver 1 numbers, which he has done in 40.4% of his games. So he is pretty consistent, even though people think that he is a very boom or bust, which I also believe that he's very boom or bust. I had him last year, but he does produce wide receiver 1 numbers in 40.4% of his games.
So those stats are correct per ESPN. 136 catches, 1,871 yards, and 8 touchdowns.
That doesn't seem fair.
Wow. Tell me.
Well, no wonder he can't do anything anymore. He did it all in one season. He's tired.
2014, 104 catches, 1,593 yards, and 60s. Look, he has potential to have an unbelievable season. He could. I mean, he could end up with 3 touchdowns again, which, gosh, I don't see how that can happen.
He's due for positive touchdown regression.
I don't see how that happens. But, again, I love Julio. I have him number 2. He's number 3 in ESPN, and I'm sure
number
he's
4 in consensus.
Yeah, so it's not like it's way far off. So I'm not saying, oh, my gosh, a huge leader. But I see Julio as the top wide receiver right after Antonio Brown. So moving on, we got
6 through 10.
Go ahead.
Let's see. Wide receiver number 6, I have AJ Green. Number 7, Devontae Adams. Number 8, DeAndre Hopkins. Number 9, Mike Evans. And number 10, Doug Baldwin. So I got 2 guys I really want to talk about here.
Okay, go ahead.
DeAndre Hopkins, of course, he is consensus ranked number 2, and he is consistently number 2 off the board. But I don't even really like putting him as wide receiver 8. He concerns me like crazy. Watson was wildly efficient last season, and he will not be able to repeat those stats he had last year. But while being efficient, he was also very inaccurate. He finished with 8 touchdowns, 8 interceptions in that same period, and was off target a league worst 24% of his throws. I do not like DeAndre this year. And remember, I mean, he's going to get the volume. That's fine. But he finished as wide receiver number 36 in 2016, and he had 151 targets. So volume doesn't always mean everything. Watson, yes, he's crazy good, but he's also crazy inaccurate. He throws picks, a lot of picks, and he was off target 24% of his throws.
Okay,
I just don't see how Hopkins is going to be number 2, and I don't even like him at number 8, to be honest.
Okay, so here's some stuff. So, yeah.
Here's some stuff.
Here's some stuff about Hopkins. So he finished the year 96 catches, 1,378 yards, and 13 touchdowns.
Impossible.
No, that's actual statistics.
That's fine. He's not going to do it again this year.
But he didn't have Watson throwing the ball the whole time to him. So
I don't care. It doesn't matter.
Again, that's why you're allowed your opinion.
But like
even though
50
it's wrong,
of those 50% of those touchdowns came from like Watson in like 4 games.
You're allowed your own opinion.
Impossible.
Which it could be wrong most of the time, but you're still allowed the opinion. So, anyways, yeah, he had a bad year in 2016. 78 catches, 954 yards.
But he has a quarterback who is widely inefficient. Widely inaccurate.
Think about it. The year before that, in 2015, he had 111 catches for 1,521 yards.
You heard it here first.
TDs.
You heard it here first.
Just saying,
he's going to be
maybe
wide receiver 8 or worse.
Maybe in even years he has bad years. Maybe in odd years he has good years. So maybe you're onto something.
Probably not how you should look at it.
Maybe you're onto something.
All right, one other guy I want to talk about. Doug Baldwin, who have his number 10. His consensus is 14, so it's not really that big off.
Nah, big.
Big off.
Big off.
He has finished as the top 13 wide receiver in each of his last 3 seasons. He's averaged over 1,000 yards, and he has 29 touchdowns with Graham on the roster. So with no Graham this year, and they didn't add any wide receiver of significance. Penny's hurt. They don't really have a running back this year, so I feel like Doug Baldwin will easily be wide receiver 10 or better.
I do like Baldwin. I don't have him that high, but I do like Baldwin. So here's my other.
You gotta do 6 through 10.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. Here's my other crazy pick. So I have Allen as 6. Cooper, Amari Cooper, I have as number 7. He is on ESPN 17. What do you got him?
Yeah, consensus 17.
Mm-hmm. So, look, I think that Oakland offense is going to take off. I think Carr's going to have a great year. I think he's going to end up over 1,000 yards.
Easily
catches.
over 1,000 yards. Not 90 catches.
Yep,
My
10
goodness.
touchdowns. Boom!
I don't think he gets 90 catches. I don't think he gets 10. I think it's probably 8 touchdowns, maybe 7. But, yeah, he's definitely going to get over 1,000 yards. That's easy to predict. John Gruden has had a 1,000-yard receiver in each of his 11 seasons as a head coach. So you're going to guarantee Carr 1,000. Carr's going to get 1,000 yards.
Wow.
Amari Cooper's going to get 1,000 yards. He should definitely be a wide receiver 2 this season. I suspect he bounces way back, and I would not be surprised if he breaks the top 10.
Yeah.
I have him at 12, so I'm high on him as well.
But I have him at 7, though, so I have him higher. So if he does break the top 10, I would be correct.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just saying.
I'm also be correct. I said he might break the top 10.
Amari Cooper. So I don't know why. Looking at it, I was like, Amari Cooper has to be, a vet pretty much. But this is 4 years. He's only been in 4. That's nothing. So last year, definitely a down year. Just, I don't know.
He was hurt. Carr was hurt.
Yeah.
It was just a pathetic season for the entire Raiders offense.
And he still had 7 touchdowns. I think it was all in one game, though, against the Chiefs, right?
His entire 40% of his fantasy output came from 2 games. Yeah, that's not a joke statistic. That's a real life statistic.
That's actual statistic. So, but
40% from 1 game.
The year before that, he had 83 catches for 1,200 yards.
So 90 catches isn't out of the realm of possibility.
90 catches is definitely not out of the realm. So, like I said, I think he'll have something around there. 90 catches, 1,200 yards, and 10 TDs. So, I think he will be in the top 10. So, as we go down, I have Michael Thomas as 8.
Oh my God!
Yeah, Michael Thomas at 8. He's projected 5. Where'd you have him at? By the way?
3.
Yeah, I have Michael Thomas at 8.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, that's I'm not high on him this year. I don't know. I'm just not high on him.
Fair enough.
And he was. I mean, Drew Brees is definitely going to improve compared to last year. So the stats have to get better somewhere. I don't know. I mean, 104 catches and 1,245 yards and 5 TDs last year is good. I don't know. I'm not loving it. I'm not loving it this year for Michael Thomas. But I could be 100% wrong. Look, he's still in my top 10. He's just not in
He
my top
finished
5.
as wide receiver 8 last year with only 5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Kamara's touchdown regression is going to go down.
Why would you think Kamara? I think Kamara's going to go up.
His touchdown, he's going to have negative regression. That's 100% sure.
Why is that?
He can't perform the same way he did last year. He got so many touchdowns last year.
I know, but wait a minute. But Mark Ingram's out, so that means that he's going to be even more.
I don't believe he will. I think Kamara's regression falls. I think his touchdown total is going to fall, and it's going to funnel into
13 last year. You don't think he has 13?
Not a chance.
Okay.
And they're going to funnel into Michael Thomas and Drew Brees.
Well, funnel to Drew. If definitely Michael Thomas, though, has to be Drew Brees. Drew Brees has to get him because Michael Thomas.
Well, I'm saying Drew Brees' touchdown total is going to go up this year. His passing attempts are going to go up this year. Michael Thomas's touchdowns are going to go up this year. He was number 8 and he only had 5 touchdowns last year. I feel like he is going to get more touchdowns and he's going to be 3.
Number 8 as well. ESPN.
No, number 3. Number 3.
Okay,
not number 8.
Number 3 will not be.
Fair enough.
And then I have Adams, and then I finish off with AJ Green. So that's my 10. Alex, you want to go ahead and do your 11 through 15?
11, T.Y. Hilton. We already talked about him. 12, Amari Cooper. Already talked about him. 13, Larry Fitzgerald. 14, Stephon Diggs. And 15, I have Josh Gordon right now, but he's fallen fast. So let's just throw him out already. So my 15 would be Tyreek Hill.
Wow.
I mean, yeah.
Wow.
I'm done with Josh for now.
Okay. Gave up pretty quick,
I know.
Especially talking about him being a top 10.
I know.
Wow.
If he wasn't missing, I wasn't expecting him to miss this much time. And all the reports are, we don't know. I know, but because I thought I knew the answers, but it just goes to show that you really just don't know half the time.
Yes. So
the only guy I really want to talk about is Stephon Diggs. He's consensus ranked 13. I have him 14. I didn't want to rank him that high, but after doing some research, I actually love Stephon this year. He connected 3 times for 35 yards and a score in the Vikings' opening drive. The arrival of Kirk Cousins actually should go perfectly with Diggs, and it's shown already in preseason game week 1. The only person that really hurts is Thielen, so I think with Kirk Cousins there, Diggs goes up and Thielen goes way down. People are drafting Thielen way before Diggs.
Right. So let me ask you: do you think it's an upgrade in quarterback going with Sam Bradford?
They're going with Sam Bradford.
Sam Bradford. Going back from Sam Bradford.
Going with Kirk Cousins?
Yes.
Do I believe it's an upgrade? I believe it's an upgrade for Diggs. Diggs alone.
See, I think Kirk Cousins isn't as good. I think he's kind of wild.
Like Case Keenum?
He does some crazy things.
You think Case Keenum is better than Kirk Cousins?
I think Case Keenum is more accurate and
that's why Thielen had like 150 targets last year.
I know. Do you think so? You think he's going to just lob it up to Diggs all day long?
Yes.
Okay. Well, it could. Last year, Stephon Diggs only had 849 yards and 64 receptions. So that's not a great number.
I know. He's going to be way better this year.
But you never know. I mean, if he's better than Thielen, then
I feel like Thielen doesn't get nearly as many targets, and I think it all kind of goes to Diggs.
Thielen with 91 catches for
1,276 yards. Nowhere
so,
close to that. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Keep drafting Thielen. I'll take Diggs.
So I don't like either of those guys. But anyways.
I didn't either, but then I started looking at Diggs, and I actually really do like him this year.
So we'll see. And that was after one game. So you got that feeling after
No, not after one game. I was looking at, who's going to catch the ball with Kirk Cousins back there, and literally everything I was reading said that he should mesh perfectly with Diggs. And he hit him 3 times and for a touchdown. Yeah. So, and another big thing to look out for, which is kind of it's huge? Just huge. It has huge implications.
Huge.
Kirk Cousins, his new offensive coordinator. I'll get that out when we do quarterbacks. But he was talking about how he has so much success in the red zone, and one of the big things he says to do is to find something that the quarterback is very comfortable with, and then to just find several plays of that, slightly variety of that play. So if he likes throwing to Diggs in the red zone, which he caught a 1-yard touchdown pass, I believe, then look for him to be the go-to guy. So basically the offensive coordinator doesn't like a lot of variance when they get into the red zone. So just a little thing to look out for the couple preseason games. If Rudolph is the go-to guy, if Thielen's the go-to guy, which it shouldn't be, if Diggs is the go-to guy, he should get a huge bump.
Here's my thing. Like, there's too much. There's Rudolph, there's Diggs, there's Thielen, there's Cook. Cook catches out of the backfield too. It's just too much to spread around for me to know which guy is going to go off. So that's why I'm kind of staying away from all. I mean, if it comes down in the draft and, it's available and that's the best available player, I will go with the best available player, but it's not going to be something that I look forward to getting. So,
oh yeah.
All right. So I've got 11. There's my pew, 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 Landry, number 11, Landry.
Possible.
Landry.
Now that Josh Gordon gave up.
20 is the ranking. I'll talk about him in a second. I got Evans at 12. I have Fitz at 13, Baldwin at 14, and and Thielen at 15. So I have Thielen and Diggs back to back.
Yeah, Thielen is consensus 11.
11. So
just a heads up.
Let me talk about Landry a little bit. So while people say, "Oh, it can't be continued," what he's doing, what he did last year can't be continued. So last year, he had 112 catches for 987 yards, which is insane, right? So people can't
look at his targets.
Can't do it again, right? Can't do it again. The year before that, 94 catches, 1,100 yards.
The wrong team.
And 30. What are you talking about?
He's on a brand new team.
So what? So
he's
Tyler
different.
Taylor's a worse quarterback than
He's got a different coach.
Yeah.
He's got a different offensive coordinator.
And
he's got different players surrounding him. He's got a different quarterback. He's got
a better quarterback.
Everything is different. You can't speculate he's going to get 150 targets again.
Okay, I can, because why wouldn't he? The year before that,
he's going to get
110
110 targets.
And Miami switched coaches in the middle of the whole thing.
He's going to get 110 targets.
It doesn't matter who's there. He is going to be the man. He will end up with over 1,000 yards, and he will have 100 catches. Watch, mark my words, put it down.
Oh my God, you are going mad today.
Landry, you better believe it. He could be in the top 10. He 11 for me, but I was trying to fight for him to get in the top 10. I just couldn't move anybody down. I couldn't force it. So Landry, stud. Let's do this.
I'm pretty sure you are insane.
No. 16 through 20. I'll go here. I got Diggs. So I got Thielen and Diggs back to back. As we talked about, Demaryius Thomas, Tate, Allen Robinson, Josh Gordon. 20. I hate it. But if he's there, then
unlimited potential, but I mean, who knows?
Yeah, it's going to be a wait and see with him. So, Demaryius Thomas, I had 16. I think he's 15. I don't know where he is on
15. Yeah.
Look, he's the division that he's in has no defense. So really 6 games out of the year, he'll have pretty much no defense. He plays against the Chiefs twice, so he has potential for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns in each of those. So, that's a little sarcasm there. I don't think he's going to do that, but
he could.
But he definitely has potential to go off. So that's why he's there. I'm not in love with him, but I wouldn't mind getting him.
That's the problem with Demaryius. Yeah, he's consensus 15. I have him ranked 16th. He's not a sexy pick. You hear that a lot in fantasy football because it's a guy that's been around for a while and they don't really have a crazy upside. But
yeah, 19, he's 32 years old.
Yeah, he's finished as wide receiver 13 and then wide receiver 19 and then wide receiver 23 with a quarterback much worse than Case Keenum. He's a reliable wide receiver and should finish no worse than wide receiver 19. So if you take him where he's going now, he should be fine. He should, produce wide receiver 15 numbers. He should get those numbers. He doesn't have really potential to do any better than that, but he should get those numbers.
His floor and ceiling is like one pick apart. It's
he's gonna 15, get
16. Yeah. That's where that's kind of where he's at.
He's gonna get you wide receiver 19 or wide receiver 15. That's
right.
All you got.
That's about all you got. So, what about yours?
Mine was Demaryius Thomas, Golden Tate, Corey Davis. That was my big weird one. And
Corey Davis ranked
19. Well, 18 if we throw out Josh Gordon. So 18. And then I have Thielen as 19.
Okay, so you dropped him down.
And Marvin Jones is 20.
Okay.
Yeah, so Adam Thielen was he's consensus 11. I've already stated that I don't like him this year. The most Cousins has ever targeted a wide receiver is 110 times, and it's dropped as low as 96 times. So that's saying that the number one receiver on an offense, the most he's ever targeted a wide receiver on offense is 110 times. So if you give Thielen that giant upside of 110 targets and pair it with his catch rate, which is high, so he should get around 70 catches, and you pair that with his yards per catch, he'll be well under 1,000 yards. So, and neither Kirk Cousins or Thielen are very good in the red zone, and their offensive coordinator, DeFlippio, has stated that they want to run the ball more in the red zone as well. So that's why I'm not very high on Thielen. I think if you take him as the 11th wide receiver, you're a madman.
You're a madman. I mean, yeah, I don't have him that high either, but again, I have him, what do I have him, 15?
15, yeah.
So it's not like,
I'm avoiding him at all costs.
Yeah, so.
But also my other weird one, Corey Davis, which I have at 18, and his consensus is 28. He's had crazy good rapport with Mariota the last 2 games of the season. It took all year for them to get a rapport going, but he caught 9 passes for 98 yards and 2 touchdowns in the final 2 games, with Rashard Matthews never coming back, apparently, because I said I liked him.
Yep.
And Delaney Walker's got a toe issue, and some things are going crazy. Corey Davis could be massive this year. He has potential to be way better than wide receiver 20. And he's being drafted as wide receiver 28.
Yeah,
so
I like Davis.
Easily could be top 20. No problem.
I agree. Absolutely. Davis could be up there. A lot of people have him everywhere. Look as a sleeper, as a good
a lot of people. And a lot of people from
like him,
Tennessee are like huge on him. Like they're buying his jerseys, and his jerseys are like going like crazy. So people are high on him this year. Just not as high as I am.
Yeah, I mean, if I were to buy a jersey, I'd probably buy. Who'd you buy, King? Would you buy anybody?
A wide receiver?
No. Wow. If you bought a Jacksonville jersey,
Miles Jack.
Miles Jack. By the way, he's sitting here wearing a Miles Jack jersey.
I am wearing
just so you know,
Miles Jack jersey.
But anyways, moving on. For my 21 through 25. So here's again my. Pew, pew, pew. Again, I went a lot of pew, pew, pew on
you were drunk while you were doing this thing.
God, when I was doing wide receivers, I don't know what I was doing, but I have a lot
That's
of guys.
so funny. You look at it, you're like, what am I doing?
Wow. No, I love it, though. You take chances, especially in fantasy. I could basically go into ESPN and
controlled.
I'd be like, I'm gonna copy. But you know what? That's a difference.
You
I
take
go in,
controlled chances.
Yeah, I go in here and I look at statistics, and I also do.
And you just completely ignore them. You just do whatever you want.
and I make
Jarvis Landry's going to get 500 targets this season, even though he's no way in hell he's going to.
See. We'll see what happens here.
My
we'll see what
goodness,
happens.
this guy.
I love it. So, anyways, 21 is Sammy Watkins for me.
My goodness.
Yeah, Sammy Watkins. Hill is number
Brutal.
22, back-to-back KC guys. Marvin
Brutal
Jones.
picks.
I have Hogan at 24, and I have Alshon Jeffries if he comes back at 25.
I got him at 30. Consensus is 26, so that's not a crazy pick.
So let me talk a little bit of Sammy Watkins. I think I already mentioned it in different podcasts, but just so you know, so
we didn't air that one.
In the red zone. We didn't air that one. Oh, okay. Well, then this is new
coming to you fresh.
New information for you. So as we talked about touchdowns or ratio of touchdowns. So Kansas City Chiefs with Mahomes, Tyreek Hill is not going to get, if they're on the 5-yard line, 1-yard line, they're not going to get in, right?
He's not going to get any touchdowns beyond inside the 25-yard line.
So then what are the people going to do? They're going to double Kelsey, right? So Sammy's going to be one-on-one. So in the red zone, Sammy Watkins last year, out of 9 targets in the red zone, he caught 7 touchdowns. Just for an example for you, Jimmy Graham had 24 red zone targets, 10 touchdowns. Zach Ertz, 17 targets, 8 touchdowns. Alshon Jeffries, 15 targets, 7 touchdowns. Hopkins, 19 targets, 7 touchdowns. So if he actually gets a chance and they throw him the ball, which I think they will because he's going to be the only guy that's single covered, he will catch that ball. He'll bring it in. He'll get a touchdown. I see Sammy Watkins actually having the best receiving stats of any of the Chiefs. Better than Kelsey and better than Tyreek Hill this year.
They paid him to do it.
Yeah, so
$50 million.
They gave him a lot of dough. They're going to use him. Again, no rapport yet as first preseason game went through, but again, it's game 1 and nobody really cares about game 1. So that's what I got for 21 through 25. You want to hit up yours? 21 to 25 there?
Yard of separation. Richardson and Doxson are both very mediocre at separation, and Crowder averages 3.2 yards of separation, which was 8th among wide receivers in 2017. Also, the reports from camp are that Crowder and Smith have a good red zone rapport together. So you can go look that up for yourself. I'm not lying to you. I believe Jameson Crowder is going to be just crazy good this year, because when Alex Smith zones into somebody like a Jamal Charles or like a Kelsey or somebody, they have potential to just do crazy things.
So you think Washington got an upgrade at quarterback then? Kirk Cousins.
I don't know.
So
it's you have to. I think
Cousins last year. 66
I think they're both odd.
For 789.
Well,
and
obviously
3 touchdowns
last
for
year
Crowder.
Alex Smith had MVP caliber season.
No, I'm saying Crowder got 66
No.
catches,
See, you're looking at
789
QB overall. I'm looking at QB specifically for a potential wide receiver boosting. So I'm not saying a QB is going to boost the entire boost the entire offense. I'm saying he's going to boost that particular player.
No,
so Kirk Cousins boosts Diggs, and I'm saying Smith is going to boost Crowder.
But what you're saying, but what you're saying is Diggs and Crowder is the same receiver. So how come it didn't work out? So I'm just trying to prove to you that I think
They're
Thielen's
not the
gonna
same
high.
receiver.
Crowder goes deep, Diggs goes deep. You're saying what he's going to do is in Minnesota now is lob the ball deep to
No. He's just going to
Diggs.
look to Diggs. He's not going to throw those short little passes to Thielen.
But
It
that's
doesn't
what-
matter, even if he
okay.
does. The thing with Thielen is he needs that volume. He needs 140 targets in
Right,
order to
okay,
get those
to
numbers.
get
And
his numbers.
Kirk
Okay.
Cousins doesn't do it. The most he's ever done is 110. So
Okay.
if you give him the most he's ever done in his career,
Right.
110,
Yeah.
Thielen's going to get 70 catches, less than 900, 800 yards.
Okay. All right.
So that's what I'm saying.
We'll see. Yeah. Okay. I got you.
I see where you're coming from. I'm glad that I didn't fall into that trap and just go, oh, yeah, you're right. Because I almost did. I was like, oh, crap. All right, and then my other guy that I'm really high on this year is Cooper Kupp. He missed week 17 and still was wide receiver 27. So the fact that he's going wide receiver 35 is just completely crazy. They added Cooks, but Cooks is a completely different player. They have separate roles, completely separate roles. So the fact that Cooks there should not hurt anything. It should take away from Woods, not Cooper Kupp. If someone gets injured, he could break the top 20, so he's got a really good potential there. And he reportedly has something special with Goff, and he has 23 red zone targets last year, over double of the next guy on the roster. So Sammy Watkins had 9, and he had 7 touchdowns,
Yep.
but Cooper Kupp had 23 red zone targets.
How many touchdowns?
I don't know. I don't have the
He
information.
only had 5 on the year.
That doesn't
so it
make
can't be-
him
can't
look
be a
as
lot.
good.
It makes him look horrible.
That doesn't matter.
It makes him look horrible.
He's going to get the targets. He's got a better rapport now. He's
But-
going to get the catches.
okay.
He is going to be better than wide receiver 22.
Okay. Well, I mean,
He's going as wide receiver 35.
So Cup reminds me a little bit of Amendola, kind of that kind of guy.
It's racist.
That has nothing to do with race. But he kind of, that's what he reminds me of. Short little guy that plays the
He's
slot.
short?
Good cuts. This is his second year, so he was a rookie last year.
Yeah, rookie with Goff. Goff was
So
rookie.
Goff,
So
So
They're working
definitely,
together.
yeah, definitely might have some rapport there.
I think the fact that Cooks is there is scaring a lot of people off of him, but they're literally completely separate roles.
completely different.
Woods and
Yeah.
and Cooks are going to fight each other for
For
the
deep
outside
passes.
stuff.
Yep,
Yeah,
I agree. I think Cup.
don't be afraid.
I have Cup and Cooks
Yeah,
next to each other. So
And Todd Gurley is destined for some touchdown regression, so maybe they go Cup's way.
maybe, yeah. Who knows? I mean, yeah, we'll see what happens there. I got 26. What number did you just do, by the way?
26 through
30,
30?
right? Okay, so I got
No. I did,
No, you did
21 through
25.
25.
So we're
yeah.
going 26 through 30.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. 26. I got Juju on that beat. He's actually ranked ESPN 26, so I have him exactly where he's at.
Consensus is 23.
23. So maybe I have him a little lower. I got Cooks 27, Cup at 28. And then I got Goodwin at 29, Corey Davis at 30. I love Corey Davis, and I will definitely move him up, I think, as the preseason goes on. And as
Especially
we
if
find out more
Rashard
information.
Matthews
Yeah.
doesn't show up.
The more information we find about Rashard Matthews, the higher Davis will go. Week 3 of preseason, if Matthews is still an unknown issue,
Yeah,
Davis is gonna
undisclosed.
fly.
At some point,
How
I
does that
can't
even
remember.
happen?
There's
How
some
can you
week
undisclose it.
because you don't have to yet.
I understand,
so
but I mean, like,
I don't know what it is.
nobody wants to say anything.
I guess
Like
not.
nothing.
Yeah, they came out and said exactly what was they were speculating was wrong with Delaney today. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure why they're not
I don't know.
saying anything. It does scare me a lot.
Maybe he got a paper cut and he's just too wussy to play.
That's always a potential.
I don't know. Maybe it's a double paper cut. Maybe it's a cardboard cut because they're deeper. They hurt a lot more. Either way,
Ridiculous.
Either way.
Oh, goodness.
So Goodwin, I had 29. He's actually 41 on ESPN. But
37 on
37.
here. I got him
So
32.
I got him a little higher. So at the beginning of the season last year, at least, I thought Goodwin was just a deep threat, but he catches balls down the middle. He is a solid wide receiver. And now I think they got a little upgrade in a quarterback with getting a little Jimmy Garoppolo.
They got Garoppolo in there, and Pierre Garçon missed the entire time that Garoppolo was out there, so he definitely grew a rapport with Goodwin. And that's the speculation out of camp is that Goodwin is the one wide receiver one. That Pierre Garçon's not going to be the wide receiver one. It's going to be Goodwin, and that Jimmy G is just going to look his way. And Kittle's got a separated shoulder, so there's who knows what's going to happen there. So it could be even more targets.
Absolutely. Now the only thing is Jared McKinnon will probably take some because he will be catching back. He will get some out of the backfield.
He should.
But I said, I like Goodwin. Last year, 56 catches, 962 yards. So he almost broke the 1,000-yard mark.
He caught a couple really, really deep ones, though.
But
he broke off a couple, I think, like 80-some-odd yard ones.
Well, he only had two TDs last year, which is insane. So if he,
I think those are the two. I think he broke off two 80-yard touchdowns, which is a concern because Garoppolo is terrible in the red zone. At least he was last year.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens.
That's a little scary, but yeah,
we'll see what happens. I like Goodwin. I think he'll do better than people haven't projected. So that's my through 30. What do you got? 26 to 30.
26 to 30. I got Randall Cobb. That's my go-to game. Cobb. I'll go.
Corn on the cob.
I'll go to that.
Do you like corn on the cob?
Are you allowed to eat forever? No, I can't eat corn.
Is it because what about corn? You put butter on it.
Oh.
Can you eat it then?
Maybe.
Or is it
if I hadn't had any carbs that day.
Oh my gosh.
I might be able to squeeze them in.
Put a little salt on there?
You can do salt. I do salt all day long.
I want a corn on the cob. Can we be sponsored by corn? Is that
sponsored by corn on the cob?
Oh my god. I think I'm gonna go corn in the backyard next year. I love it.
Corn stocks. Randall Cobb. And then I got Juju Smith-Schuster, Brandon Cooks, Alshon Jeffrey, and Chris Hogan to wrap it up at 30. Randall Cobb is going to be the guy this year. He is consensus ranked 34. But with no Jordy this year, everyone is boosting up Devontae Adams like crazy. As they should. They should. But with Jordy on the team last year and Devontae Adams, the 5 games that Cobb played with Rodgers, he caught 30 of 45 targets for 302 yards and 2 touchdowns.
But now he's got Jimmy as well.
It doesn't matter.
Graham.
It doesn't matter. They're completely opposites. That 5-game span over 16 games is 96 catches for 966 yards and 6 touchdowns, making Cobb wide receiver 10 last year. Adding the targets he should see now that there's no Jordy Nelson.
Wait a minute. What's his last year's stats?
Last year's stats? I don't have last year's stats. I'm saying with Rodgers.
Oh, with Rodgers.
The 5 games with Rodgers.
Okay, I feel
so if you take that 16 games with Rodgers, it should have been 96 catches. Well, shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Right.
96 for 966 and 6 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And now Jordy Nelson's gone. So Cobb could steal. I know, but Cobb should steal. Well, he's going to steal some touchdowns. That's fine.
Yeah.
But Cobb should steal a bunch of the remaining targets that are left there. And also, another note on Cobb is he had surgery to remove some cartilage that was been bugging him and causing discomfort in his foot for the longest time. And now he's back this year, stronger and healthier than he has been. And I think he's a good candidate to make a 16-game run this year. I know he's got injury issues, but I think if he makes a 16-game run, he could crack the top 10, and nobody's going to see it coming.
You know what's crazy about him is that
not top 10, top 20.
Well, yeah, definitely not top 10, but yeah, top 20 maybe. Every time I watched a game with him, it seemed like he caught a ball and then he'd hobble. Like he caught a ball and hobble.
That might be the discomfort in his foot. He had like some kind of cartilage issue.
It seemed like every game I watched, it was the same thing. It's like, oh, Cobb catches a pass for 5 yards and he's hobbling, and then catches another pass for 8 yards and he's hobbling. We'll see what's going on with the guy. So
we'll see.
Yeah, hopefully he can improve. Last couple seasons, he's going in his 8th year. He's 27 now. So yeah, last couple seasons it's been kind of rough. He hasn't broken 650 yards one year and 610 the year before that. So it hasn't been anything great, but who knows? Jordy Nelson is gone, and he was the main guy that Rodgers looked to. So if Cobb could be the next guy, you never know. So that could be a good call.
I love him. I love Cobb.
Could be a good call out by you. So
we've also already talked about Juju a bunch, but just in case we didn't air that part, I cannot remember. He ranked 55th in targets last year.
Our mics went out, by the way, on that podcast.
Yeah, it was so strange. It kept going. It was looking like we were recording, and then it was like all distorted. It was very odd. So we lost all that, which is great. I think it was right when we were talking about Pittsburgh. But Juju Smith-Schuster, he ranked 55th in targets last year with 5.6 a game. He is only worth where he's going in drafts with Antonio Brown out of the game. and Antonio Brown's going to play this year, so he's not worth anything at all. And people are seeing a 71-yard touchdown in week 1, and they're thinking, oh, Juju's going to be the guy this year. But then again, Antonio Brown was not in the game. So I'm really low on Juju this year.
Juju.
I'm going to avoid him at all costs.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I mean, again, if it comes down and I need a wide receiver and he's the only guy there with a bunch of,
maybe
I might have to take him, but
I don't know. I can't see myself taking him this year because I just know he's not going to get it. Yeah, I just know he's not going to.
Yeah, I agree. So we'll see kind of where that goes. So moving on to 31 through 35.
Let's just do 31 through 40. Just go through it.
Just quickly. We're just going to fly through it.
Because we still got to do a draft, and we're at 40.
That's right. Emmanuel Sanders, Crabtree, Robbie Anderson, Hearns, Pierre Garçon, Cobb, Shepard is 38 for me. Crowder is 39. And I have, let's see here, Marquise Lee at
God, you hated Crowder.
40.
Wow.
I didn't love Crowder.
All right.
So... yeah, that's kind of my top 40, and then I have 2 sleepers, so we'll go through that after you do this. Go ahead.
My 30, okay, we'll say 31 is going to be Josh Gordon. Let's just do that. And then I got Marquise Goodwin, Robbie Anderson, Kenny Stills, Sammy Watkins, Emmanuel Sanders, Pierre Garçon, Robert Woods, Devin Funchess, Nelson Aguilar, and Marquise Lee. And the back end there with Aguilar, Funchess, and Marquise Lee, it's because they could potentially be wide receiver ones on their team, especially if Alshon Jeffries misses some time. So it's going to boost their overall seasonal stats. Just to keep an eye out on those guys. Also, Kenny Stills, if Devonta Parker is going to miss time, it looks like Kenny Stills is going to catch a lot of balls this year, even though he's not really a ball-catching guy. So you have to keep an eye on that as well. But that's all I really got. I don't really have any sleepers either, so you might as well just take over on the sleepers.
Yeah. So
my sleepers are ranked way too high, so I had them in here.
So two sleeper guys. So Marquise Lee for Jacksonville, 96 targets last year, and that's with Allen Robinson and Hearns. So
and also a note on him, I
gotta go up.
They extended his contract 4 years, or I can't remember. They kept his contract, and it was like the exact same as Allen Hearns.
So that means
they got rid of Allen Hearns and they kept Marquise Lee. So that's a good thing to look out for.
So I think he's a sleeper, and also Corey Coleman for Buffalo. I think he is going from Cleveland to Buffalo, a young kid that could really take over and dominate. Benjamin, I understand that, but they need more than that. So I think he could have a big year as well. That's my 2 sleepers. You know what we didn't talk about? There's 2 other guys we really didn't even talk about that I also think are good. I got 4 sleepers. Is that too much? Mike Williams for the Chargers.
Yeah, we mentioned him in the running back.
Yeah, he could be huge. And also, I love John Brown. Love me some John Brown. So
yeah, I should have ranked him in my top 40.
Yeah, he's gonna keep moving up the charts for me. He's just outside the charts for me.
Breaking news: no Des Bryant and Cleveland Brown deal expected tonight.
Ooh, look at that! Maybe Landry's gonna move up even more. There's gonna be nobody catch the ball but Landry. And who was that? Who was that other sleeper that I was like, man, this tight end is gonna be great.
Njoku. We'll do tight ends. Get to the mock draft.
That's my boy. All right, so we're gonna do a quick mock draft. We're picking 9th this time. I think last time we did the episode, if I remember correctly, I think we were 4th. Is that right?
It was so long ago.
I know. I think we were 4th.
Yeah, we were 4th.
I think we were 4th. So here we go. We're going to begin the draft. Same 1 point PPR. Wow.
Saquon
Barkley went 3rd. So we went David Johnson, Gurley, Saquon Barkley, Bell, Zeke, Kamara, Antonio Brown, Freeman. So it's different every time you do a mock draft. Like we said, this is insane. Saquon Barkley went 3rd. That's crazy. So we are 9. Hopkins is left for us, but I know how much you love you some Hopkins. So we have Odell. Our pick is coming back to back, so we could technically have 2 unbelievable.
Well, we're going
receivers.
to look at who's left: DeAndre Hopkins, Odell Beckham, Julio Jones, Michael Thomas, Keenan Allen, Devontae Adams, AJ Green. They're all left. Nothing but running backs.
What are we going then? What are we going here?
Doesn't matter. Anybody. Any of those.
Let's go.
Of course, I would do Michael Thomas and Keenan Allen, but I mean, it makes more sense to do your DeAndre Hopkins, Odell Beckham.
Well, we're going to do Odell. Maybe Hopkins is going to be out. And Julio's gone. Okay, so now we have to. I'll leave this decision to you, Michael Thomas or Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen.
Let's go Keenan Allen. So we have Keenan Allen and Odell.
This will be interesting. We're doing back-to-back wide receivers, we'll see how it develops later.
Yeah. And this is it's good to do different things just to kind of see how it works out. So we could have gone Christian McCaffrey, could have gone Hunt, could have gone Melvin Gordon. So Cooks went, AJ Green, Michael
Travis
Thomas.
Kelce, first tight end off the board.
Wow. See, every time it's a little different.
You have
Mike
wide
Evans,
receivers clicked. Click on all.
Mike Evans.
Rob Gronkowski's there. Do we not take
Rob
a running back?
Howard.
Hey, my boy
McCoy,
Collins is there.
Mixon, Jared McKinnon, T.Y. Hilton, Kelsey, Stephon Diggs was just taken. Those are the guys just taken. Now, basically, we're in the third round. We have possibility, again, it's all wide receivers, or we go Henry or Collins. And
I'd probably do.
If we look at it, we might actually get Collins and Henry.
I would probably take Collins and
back-to-back.
then let it roll and see who the guy takes.
Well, you know what? Maybe no, because the guy above us is 2 wide receivers as well. So
Crazier things have happened.
he's gonna go running back here. He's gonna go Rob, and he's gonna go Derrick Henry, which is good. I mean, his team is solid. Hopkins, Julio, Rob Gronkowski, and Derrick.
But his
Henry.
RB1's Derrick Henry.
I know, but
I would
our
never
RB1
in
is
my
Alex
entire.
Collins.
I would take Collins.
So okay, so now it's our pick again. Basically, who's left? Thielen, Baldwin, Fitz, Hill, Cooper, Rogers, Landry, Jay Ajayi. We gotta go. Do we have to go running back, or we can wait and maybe get like a Miller or Freeman later?
I would wait.
Okay, so what do we got? We got Baldwin. Do you like Baldwin? I think
I like
you
Baldwin better,
right?
but you like Cooper.
Yeah, I do like Cooper, but you know what? Let's go Baldwin.
We can do
Baldwin's higher up, so we're gonna go Baldwin this time.
So we
time
now
we'll go
potentially
Cooper.
have, I think, wide receiver 2, wide receiver 4, wide receiver 10, according to my rankings. So
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. So we went down Fitz, Rogers, Ajayi, Landry,
Juju,
Hill,
5th round, like we were talking about.
Thielen, Freeman, Drake, Juju, Amari Cooper, Thomas, Zach Ertz, Golden Tate, Allen Robinson, Lamar Miller, Brandon Cooks, back to us. Next best available is Mark Ingram, which is not going to happen. I do not like him just as much as Alex does not like him. Then we have Watson.
It's personal, Mark.
Josh Gordon, Hogan. Man, there's not many running backs that are available. I really wish Lamar Miller would have fallen to us, but he didn't. So what do we have, really? We have Burkhead. We have Deion Lewis. We have Ronald Jones II, which you don't like at all. What do you like here? What do you like in this pick? We're going to get 2 picks pretty close, so we can really do whatever. We can go, if we wanted to.
I don't really like any of those guys there. I mean, I would think I
This
would
is
go
kind of
with.
a bad position. Would you go Burkhead?
I got to go with the guy below him.
You'd go Deion Lewis?
I believe I would.
Okay. All right, Deion Lewis.
We don't have to do everything I want to do.
I know, but sometimes I like to play it out just to see how horrible a team would turn out.
So
Mark
we can
Aaron, Ronald Jones goes. So now it's our pick again.
Now we can do whatever you want.
Yeah, let's do. You know what? Let's go Chris Hogan. I think he's gonna have a huge year. So
We
we're gonna go
have
Chris
so
Hogan.
many
We
receivers.
have so many receivers, but that's okay. That's okay.
Fair enough.
It's gonna come back to us, and I'm hoping we get a rookie running back here. So we went Corey Davis, Alshon Jeffries, Tom Brady, Deshaun Watson, Michael Crabtree, darn it, Penny went, Cohen went, and so did Kerryon Johnson also just went. Fuller and Russell Wilson went. So we are actually looking at running backs and saying, oh my God, please, Lord, help us. Because Marshawn Lynch and Sony Michel, I guess we have Tevin Coleman. I mean, we can take some chances on back-to-back running backs here. So what are you thinking? Do we go Marshawn Lynch? Do you like Lynch this year?
I mean, yeah, he's worth a 7th round pick. Why not?
All right. So we're gonna go Marshawn Lynch, and
I would never do it. I would never pull that trigger.
And then
Marshawn?
We're going Marshawn. And then we're going to come back with another. Samuel Watkins went, and so did Drew Brees. Back-to-back. Samuel Watkins, 7th round. Is that where he's going?
I don't believe so.
I thought he went a lot later. Maybe they're listening to us, and they're just adjusting as it goes.
Dang it, government.
I know. They're really taking over the world. And I'm going to go Marlon Mack here.
Oh, my God, this guy. What a horrible pick.
I'm going to go Marlon Mack. I know you hate Marlon Mack.
That could not be your worst pick.
I know. So Sanders, Sony Michel, Edelman, Delaney Walker, Chris Thomas, Tevin Coleman, Cam, Wentz, Isaiah, Crowder, Goodwin, Cobb, Andrew Luck. Let's see here. Rudolph, Williams, Cup, and now it's up to us again. We have 4 running backs, 4 receivers is what we have. Robbie Anderson, Jordan Reed, Nelson, Carlos Hyde, Pierre Garcon, Duke Johnson's like, ooh, Duke Johnson wouldn't be back. And so would Chris Carson, right? If you think about it, he could be the starting guy for a while, right? Would you rather go with Duke or would you rather go with Carson? Or would you rather just sleep?
I don't know who to
what's
take.
happening.
I don't know. It's Duke Johnson's interesting. Chris Carson's interesting. Everybody's interesting.
You can say words. If
Anyway,
open your
you
mouth,
pick.
Most of the,
You pick 'em.
Most of the time it happens. I'm gonna go with Duke. Funches is next. Robbie Anderson comes back to us. Carson's still there. Do we go there, or would you rather risk it and get somebody like Jordan Reed?
We don't want Jordan Reed, do we?
Don't want Jordan Reed.
No.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna go with. You know what? We're gonna gamble here. By the way, we have not taken a quarterback.
Now we
And
have
it is
6
rough.
running backs, by the way.
Yeah, and that's the way because and that's another thing that you got to do. So if you don't have quality running backs, you gotta
Take
stack
some
them,
chances.
and then maybe you're hoping that you have one good guy, and your second guy will come out of there, out of that stack of 5 other ones. So you never know. It
Baby
could be-
hands just went.
Oh, Jack Doyle. I love me some Jack Doyle. So, okay, so we're in the 11th round. We do not have a tight end, and we do not have a quarterback. So that's probably going to be our next 2 picks. We have Matt Ryan, Phillip Rivers. Do you like either one of those more?
Phillip,
Okay.
way more.
Phillip Rivers is going to be taken. And then as we go to tight ends, we have, my man. Njoku. I think.
Go ahead.
He's going to be taken a lot higher than what I think now because of the 2 touchdowns in preseason. So, but we'll talk about that in maybe next week sometime. And then
Sometime, we don't know when.
And tight end. As we go down, Matt Ryan, DJ Moore, the wide receiver for Carolina, Chubb, Aguilar, Hines, Kearns, Gina Bernard, Sterling Shepard, Cameron
A
Meredith,
lot of defenses
Clemens,
off the board.
Kettle. Oh yeah, Ben Roethlisberger just went in the 13th round. I love Big Ben at home.
Horrible, but we'll go.
Big Ben. And then Mahomes, Eagles, Baltimore, our pick. We have 3 picks left. So
1 pick left.
So basically 1 pick left. So what do we want to do here? Mike
Williams.
Perfect.
Welcome to the team.
And Marquise Lee's still there.
And Calvin Ridley.
And Calvin Ridley. They're
and
so many good.
Stills.
So we're going to go Mike Williams just because we both think.
Will Peyton Barber be picked in the last round?
So I'm going to pick here. We got defense next. We got Houston. We got Denver.
Houston will be better this year.
Houston's good. Okay, here we go. We're going to go with Houston.
Will Peyton Barber be picked?
A bunch of kickers are going at this point in
Will
time.
Peyton Barber be picked?
And it's kickers and defenses last 2 rounds. Please don't make it more complicated than it is. Somebody drafted the Chiefs defense. That was, what? Why?
Calvin Ridley, Marquise Lee,
and Eifert.
Peyton Barber
wins
he
again.
did it. He did it.
He did it. The third to last pick. He is consistently going in the 15th round. Congratulations.
Crazy good.
Congratulations. So anyways, we're going to take the kicker for Dallas. That's the end of our draft. Here's kind of where we ended up. Probably not my favorite draft that we've done, but
You got to try things.
Odell, Keenan Allen, Alex Collins, and Deion Lewis are starting running backs. Doug Baldwin and Chris Hogan is our other 2. Marshawn Lynch, Marlon Mack, and Duke Johnson.
There'll be something
Carson.
viable out of that.
Yeah, absolutely. One of those guys will. Alex Collins is definitely a starter, and then one of those 5 should be good. You could play matchups as well. It just depends on what's going on, So, and that's what you gotta. That's what you gotta go with sometimes. If the cards are heading to you to go 2 top wide receivers, do it, and then stack your running backs and play by matchups. So, Phillip Rivers is our quarterback. Let's see here, and that's Mike Williams, and then Houston
We
defense,
have
Dan Bailey. So
Phillip Rivers, Keenan Allen, and Mike Williams.
Ooh, we love ourselves some Chargers. We didn't even know we love them, but we love them. So that's the wide receivers.
That's going to do it. Thanks for listening to this episode of the BFFs Podcast. Please make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at the BFFs Podcast, and make sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Best Fantasy Football Podcast.